Hello, students. Today we will learn chapter 5 quality from class 7 English textbook. Um, so, my dear students, whenever we think we get or we read the word quality, the first things what comes in our mind. Quality, so to say, when we go to the market and buy something, and after 2 3 days it is no longer used, then what we say to that product, we say that it is not good quality, it is not good quality. But again, if the things it last for many years, then we say it is the product is in very good quality. So quality what we can say when, so before we read begin this lessons, here is given, so we will read first this. Can a shoemaker be called an artist? Can a shoemaker um, can be called an artist? Here it is saying yes, if he has that potential, if he has that skill, he also can be called an artist, he also can be called an artist, and we should give him respect too, we should give him respect too. In this lesson, one German shoemaker named Mr. Gessler, German shoemaker named Gessler, who settled in London, and he is a perfect artist, he is a perfect artist. So we will read this story to see how he devotes his life to his art, to his art, how he devotes his life to his art. So quality, I knew him from the days of my extreme youth because he made my father's boot, because he made my father's boot, because he made my father's boot. He lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a small by street in a fashionable part of London. So he knew the narrator who is narrating this story. The narrator, he knew him, whom Mr. Jesler, from his youth, from his youth, and he knew because he knew him because he made his father's boot. Mr. Jesler made narrator's father's boot. That's why he knew him, and he lived. Mr. Jesler lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a very small uh, street in a fashionable part of London. In a fashionable part of London. So the shop had a certain quiet distinctions. There was no sign upon it, or other than the name of Jesslers only. There was no sign. The shop was certain quiet distinctions. Why it is like this? Because there was uh, no sign on it, other than only the name of a Jessler brothers. Only the name of a Jessler brothers. The and in the window a few pairs of boots were there. On the window a few pairs of boots were there. He made only what was ordered. He did not made the shoe which was not given any order to him. He made only what was ordered, and what he made never failed to fit. What he made never failed to fit. His he made the shoe in such a way it never failed to fit. It never failed to fit. It become fit when he uh, get the order, and he uh, made the shoe, he making the shoe. Then after making, it never uh, failed to fit. He made such a boot and it was very mysterious, it was very wonderful. The boots were very wonderful. The author remember I remember when my shy remarks one day while stretching out to him my youthful foot, "Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Jesler?" And his answer, given with a sudden smile from out of the redness of his beard, "It is an art. It is an," he said. He, the other one, he was very shy when he put his stretching his youthful foot in front of him so that he should measure it. So he said to him that it was not good that he should stretch his foot before him, but he said it is an art. It is an art. It was not possible to go to him often, very often. Why it is not possible to go very often? Because his boots lasted terribly, having something beyond the temporary, some essence of boots stitched into them. When someone buy boots from his shop, then they have to go, they have to go in his shop uh, many years, after many years, because his boots lasted terribly. His boots were in very good quality, that's why it lasts longer lasting. Then one went in, not as into most shops, but restfully, as one enters a church and sitting on the single wooden chair waited a guttural sound and the tip tap of his slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs, and he would stand before one without coat, a little bent in leather apron with sleeves turned back, blinking as if awakened from some dream of boots. So, if someone goes in his shop, there would be like uh, they feel that they are entering into a church. They are entering to a church. It was very quiet. It was very quiet, and the incense, there was a scent of the leather. There was a scent of leather. If you enter his shop, like in church we get the incense, the scent of incense sticks, right? And here he compared his shop like a church. When you enter, then you will get the smell of his leather. And I would say, how do you do, Mr. Jasler? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots? When he say, how do you do, and could he made him a pair of Russian leather boots? Then what he said, when author asked him, would he make a pair of Russian leather boots for him or not? Then, without a word, he would leave him, retiring whence he came into other portion of the shop, and the author would continue to rest in the wooden chair, inhaling the incense of his thread. And then he would sit there inhaling the incense of the leader, without a word. When the narrator asked him to make for him pair of shoes, without a word, he went from there to get the special kind of leather so that he could make boots for him. And the narrator, he would sit there inhaling the incense of his trade. Then he when he would come back holding in his hands a piece of gold brown leather, a piece of gold brown leather. With eyes fixed on it, he would remark, "What a beautiful beast! What a beautiful beast!" He would say, "What a beautiful beast!" At he was looking at uh, the piece of gold brown leather, and he would say, what he would say, "What a beautiful beast!" When I too had admired it, he would speak again. "When do you want them? When do you want them?" When he asked, Mr. Jessler asked that when the narrator won this pair of shoes, then he answered, narrator answered, "As soon as you conveniently can, as soon as you can make." Then he would say, "Tomorrow fortnight, tomorrow fortnight." Or if he were his elder brother, he will ask my brother. He said, "Tomorrow fortnight." And after adding, he would also said that he would ask his brother also, brother. So then the narrator would murmur, then, "Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Jessler." "Good morning," he would reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. And as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip tap of his slippers going up the stairs to his dream boots. So this is all about how when the narrator has given an order to make a pair of boots for him, and Mr. Jessler was preparing, mm, was making a pair of boots for the narrator. Then narrator, I cannot forget that day. The narrator could not forget that day on which he had occasion to say to say him, "Mr. Jessler, that last pair of boots creaked, you know." He could not forget that moment, that occasion when he had said that uh, shoe, his shoes, uh, his pair of boots, it make a sound, crick sound. It make a sound. He said to the jester. Then the jester he looked at the narrator for a time without replying. He did not reply anything, as if expecting him to withdraw or qualify the statement. Then he said, "I would have It should not have creaked. It should not have creaked. It should not have the shoe. What shoe he had made should not make creak sound. Should not make that sound. But unfortunately, it happens. It happens that the narrator complaining about the shoes the Jesslers has made. Then it didn't. I am afraid. You got them with before they found themselves. I don't think so. And that he lowered his eyes as if hurting for memory of those boots, and I felt sorry, and I had mentioned this grave thing. Send them back, he said. I will look at them. Zoom boots, he continued slowly, are bad from birth. If I can do nothing with them, I take them off your bill. So what he said, after looking very carefully at the boots, after looking very carefully at him, then he said, "You just send those boots back to me." Then he would check it, what the problem it is, what the problem would come, he would see. And if he would not able to repair it, then what he would do, he will uh, return his money back to the narrator. He would return mm, money back to the narrator. He promised he will pay his he will return the money to him. Then once, only once, the narrator went mindedly into his shop in a pair of boots brought in an emergency at some large firm. He took my order without showing me any leather, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior covering of my foot. At last he said, "Those are not my boots." So when the narrator uh, complained about the pair of boots he had made, and he uh, brought this pair of boots before the Jesla. Jesla means shoemaker. Then he looked very carefully and he told him that they were not his boots. They were not his boots. So then the narrator he remembered that once, no, very in an emergency, he bought at large fame. He purchased those pair of boots from a large fame, means large shop, and the jailers he come to know that these boots were not made by him. These boots were not made by him. It was clear. The tone was not one of anger, nor of sorrow, not even of contempt, but there was in it something quiet that froze the blood. He put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot was not quite comfortable. There was not a sign of anger, there was not a sign of sorrow. Then what he did, he put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where on the place where the left boot was not quite comfortable. Where the left boot was not quite comfortable, he pressed there with his finger. "Then it errs you, dear," he said. "Those big firms have no self-respect." And then, as if something had given way within him, he spoke long and bitterly. It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the condition and hardship of his trade. So the narrator, uh, did not heard, did not hear anything before, um, that the Jesler was talking about his trade. It was the first time. It was the first time he said that. He said about his trade. He said about his work. He said about his work. What is it? So those big firms, big shops, those big shops. From big shop, he meant that the shop where the narrator purchased those boots. The Jesler said that those big firms, they don't have any self respect. They don't have any self respect. Self respect. They don't have any self respect. And what they did, they earn money or they sell their product only through advertisement. Only through advertisement. They don't have. They they did not give any good quality product. They did not give any good quality product. Only they sell their products through advertisement, not with the good quality. Only with the advertisement, not with the good quality. They get it all, he said. They get it all by advertisement, not by work, you see. They take it away from us who love our boots. It comes to this presently. I have no work. Every year it gets less, you will see. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before, bitter things and bitter struggle, and what a lot of grey hairs there seemed suddenly in his red beard. So he talked about the other femmes who earn money through advertisement, but through advertisement only, not providing good quality. As best I could, I explained the circumstances of those ill-omened boots, of those ill-omened boots. But his face and voice made, but his voice made. So, my dear students, so this new word you are getting here. So, which word? Ill omen. So, ill omen boots. As best I could, I explained the circumstances of those ill omen boots. Ill omen boots means uh, bad sign. Ill omen boots means bad sign. But his face and voice made so deep an impression that during the next few uh, during the next few minutes, I ordered many beers. They lasted longer than ever, and I was not able to go to fame for nearly 2 years. So after that incident, what he did, he he has given many orders, many orders he has given after that. Then so many pairs he got after given order, and it happened that he was not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. For nearly 2 years, he did not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. Why? Because this pair of boots, which he had ordered from him, lasted longer than ever. Lasted longer than ever. Lasted longer than ever. That's why he did not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. For nearly 2 years, he did not go. It was many months before my next visit to his shop. This time it appeared to his elder brother, handling a piece of leather. It was many months before his next visit to his shop, and this time what happened? It appeared to be his elder brother, handling a piece of leather. His elder brother was there in the shop. Well, Mr. Jesler, I said, how are you? He came close and peered at him. Then, I am pretty well, he said slowly, but my elder brother is dead. Now, he thought that this time his elder brother was there in the shop. But when he went to him and asked how he was, uh, Mr. Jesler, he came close and he said he is pretty well, but his elder brother is dead. His elder brother was dead. His elder brother was dead. The narrator thought that in the shop, elder brother was there, but Mr. Jessler, who is there in the shop presently, he told him that elder brother was dead. It means he was younger. And I saw that it was indeed himself, but how aged and wan, and never before had I heard him mention his brother. Much shocked, I murmured, "Oh, I am sorry." "Yes," he answered, "he was a good man. He made a good boot, but he is dead." And he touched the heart of his head, where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother, to indicate, I suppose, the cause of his death. "Do you want any boots?" And he held up the leather in his hand. "It is a beautiful piece." So after that, talking about all those things about his brother, uh, Mr. Jesler, the younger brother, he said that uh, he wants any boots or not. Like Jesler, he was there. Maybe he came, he has gone there to give him order. Then Mr. Jessler, he ordered several pairs of boots. He ordered several pairs of boots. It was very long before they came, but they were better than ever. The order that he has given, it long last. It lasted very long. It lasted very long, and one simply could not wear them out. And soon after that, uh, he went abroad. The author, the narrator, the narrator went abroad after given him after given him several peers, ordered of several peers. After that, he went abroad. It was over a year before I once again in London, and the first shop I went to was my old friend's. I had left a man of 60. I came back to one of 75, pinched and worn, who genuinely, this time, did not at first know me. "Do you want my boots?" he said. "I can make them quickly. A It is a slack time. It is a slack time." I answered, "Please, please. I want boots all around, every kind." I had given those boots up when one evening they came. One by one tried them on, in shape and fit, in finish and quality of leather. They were the best he had ever met. I flew downstairs, wrote a check, and posted it at once with my own hand. A week later, passing the little street, I thought I would go in and tell him how splendidly the new boots fitted. But when I came to where his shops had been, his name was gone. So what happened? He has given orders, and uh, he the pairs of boots were very good quality. It happens that uh, Mr. Sorry, this narrator, when he was crossing or passing the little street, he thought that he would go in his shop and tell Jessler how splendidly, how good the new boots fitted him, how good the boots were. But when he came to where his shops had been, his name was gone. Then he went in very much disturbed. He was very much disturbed by not seeing the Jessler's name in the board. In the shop there was a young man with an English face. In the shop there was a young man with an English face. "Mr. Jessler in?" I said. "No, sir," he said. "No, but we can attend to anything with pleasure. We have taken the shop over." There was an Englishman who told him that they have taken the shop from the Jessler. They have taken get or purchase the shop from the Jessler. Then the narrator was very much shocked, and he said, "Yes, yes," I said, "but Mr. Jessler." "Oh," he answered, "that when he get the news, when he come to know about Mr. Jessler, when he come to know about Mr. Jessler, who was that," narrator was shocked. How it is possible? That, but I only received these boots from him last Wednesday week, just before, no, Last Wednesday week he received boots from him. Then how Mr. Jessler now is not there? How he uh, passes away? All those things is running in his mind. Oh, he said. The Englishman said, poor old man starved himself, slow starvation, the doctor called it. You see, he went to work in such a way, would keep the shop on, wouldn't have a soul touch his boots except himself. When he got an order, he took him such a time, people won't wait. He lost everything, and there he had sit, going on and on. I will say that for him, not a man in London made a better boot, but look at the competition. He never advertised, would have the best leather too, and do it all himself. Well, there it is. What could you expect with his ideas but starvation? So, what the Englishman he said? The poor man he died because of starvation. Starvation means because of not getting food to eat. That is called the starvation, because of uh, not getting food, like suffer from extreme hunger. Suffer from extreme hunger called the starvation. The doctor called that he died because of starvation. Why it's happened? Because he worked in such a way, and whatever the orders he get from the customer, he did it by himself. He has not hired any uh, shoemaker. He did not hired any shoemaker. He did it by himself. So, and it take so much time to complete his work. So the customer did not wait so long time for their boots. And one more thing is, he did not give any advertisement. So in such a competitions, without an advertisement, how one can uh, sell their products without an advertisement? This is there. And he did not allow anyone to touch, uh, the boots. He did it by himself. So this is what. He did not allow anyone. He did not hire anyone. He did not take any help from others. So this is what. And what he said, whatever he get from selling few pair of boots, it gone in paying the rent, and it gone uh, in uh, buying the good quality of leather. So nothing is left with him. So without taking food also, he continued to work, and that's why he died, because of starvation. Because of starvation. That may be a bit flowery, as the saying is, but I know myself he was sitting over his boots day and night to the very last. You see, I used to watch him, never gave himself time to eat, never had a penny in the house, all went in rent and leather. How he lived so long I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out. He was a character, but he made good boots. Yes, he made good boots. He made good boots. What he said, it was not whatever the Englishman was saying to the narrator, like no one could believe that somebody is dying because of that. And but the Englishman has had seen all these things through his eyes. He was witnessing all this. So that's why he can say that he died because of starvation. And all those things, whatever he worked day and night to the very last moment. He worked day and night. He worked day and night, and what he earned, this gone where in paying the rent and buying the good quality of leather, nothing is left. He had never had a penny in the house. He did not have anything left. And at last the mm Englishman is told the narrator that he made good boots. He made good boots. Then the narrator also he said yes, he made good boots. Here the narrator want to say, or in this lesson a message is there for everyone that we also in this competition world we should not depend only the what the good quality is very important, that is okay, but somewhere where if we don't have much time to do it, that we should hire someone, or uh, we should advertise it, no. So this is what only we can survive in this competition world. Otherwise, what it happened in the life of Chesler, he was no doubt a very good artist. He is a very good artist, shoemaker. He is a very good shoemaker. But at the end, what happened? He suffer. He suffer. He died because of starvation. He died because of starvation. And sometimes when we hear such things, a good person died because of not getting food to eat, then we feel very bad. Everyone feel very bad. So we want that this type of situation should not occur in our life. So that's why in all the angle we have to see what should we do, at what time we should do, with whom we should seek, we should take help. So everything we need to see, then only we can survive in this competitive world, in this competition world, in this very competitive world. So what is there, this lesson has already completed. So I want that what you do, you read again, so that wherever you have not understood, then you can mm, understand. And by reading, my dear student, you can improve your reading also. And sometimes it happened that some words we did not, the words, the meaning of some words we did not understand the meaning, then by reading itself we get the meaning from there. So reading is very important. That's why I want that every student should read, not one time, 2 3 times you read. And what you do, uh, this try to read this, and working with language, meaning is given, look after, take care of, look down on, disapprove or regard as inferior, look in on someone, make a short visit, look into, investigate, look out, be careful, look up, improve, look up to, admire. And read this and use this to fill up this blank. Use these words to fill up this blank. This is your homework, and send it to me in my personal number. You can send it, or if you cannot send, then what you do, you keep it in your copy. When we send a message to you, uh, come school with your copy. So in that time we will correct, we will check your copies and all. Okay, from today this much only. So stay home, be safe. Thank you very much.